lives money, and only when somebody the door's open and heroin addict or whatever knows that you buy dope.
They call it the war zone, South Dallas. Dope deals are common here, dope dealers easy to find.
One Saturday when we took the task force out to do buy busts on the street, the first arrest we made was a 13-year-old on a bicycle. The last arrest we made was a 58-year-old grandmother.
Crack house is common here, drugs bought and sold on street corners.
How much are they?
$20 a piece.
20 a piece?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too much.
In this undercover buy last November, a teenager sold $40 worth of crack to a Dallas officer.
And I'll give you 10. All right, go ahead. No, hey man, I just had a bad experience.
We've almost lost a whole generation, or a large part of it, to narcotics. And we just can't go on that way.
Captain Ed Walt helped develop the Dallas Police Department's Operation Clean, a plan to saturate drug-infested neighborhoods with officers. Neighborhoods like this one in East Dallas, where children are forced to play inside. A neighborhood where many residents can't afford to buy cars, so they walk to the nearest grocery store and they're scared.
Because it ain't safe to walk down sidewalks no more. You don't never know somebody's going to kill you.
Faye Howard's niece, Mary McEwen, is afraid to let her 4-year-old daughter play outside their apartment. This East Dallas family welcomes the police crackdown on drug dealers, but they're not sure it will do any good.
I don't much think they'll ever really clean it up because I think there's too many of them.
Patsy McEwen, who suffers from emphysema, worries about her granddaughters growing up in a drug-infested neighborhood.
The whole thing is death. The pipe is death, the rock is death. You're death, you're like a walking zombie. You're insane.
You're on crack, smokable cocaine, considered the most addictive, the most deadly drug on the streets today.
There's 46 vials in this container, and they were found on a 12-year-old boy. I bought these in the East Dallas area last night from a 15-year-old boy who said his name was Robert. Hey, Cornelius, I didn't even recognize you. How you doing, man?
On the streets of Dallas, we found teenagers selling crack on street corners, inside crack houses, and outside apartment complexes.
It's as easy as having a $10 bill in your hand if you want a crack rock. If you've got the money, they've got the product, and it's an endless supply.
In southeast Dallas, our camera caught one teenager selling $40 worth of crack to an undercover officer.
How much are they?
$20 a piece.
20 a piece?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too much. They ain't got any 10 rocks?
Yeah, I get you.
Give me
3. Well,
give me 2, and I'll give you 10.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. No, hey man, I just had a bad experience.
No,
you bring it here, and I'll give you the money.
Okay.
2 minutes later, the handoff.
Oh, lady, man, she may have me back over here in 5 minutes.
It's like that.
Are you sure? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
See you later.
And at this apartment complex in East Dallas, a 17-year-old girl sold crack to an undercover female officer. From an empty apartment across the street, we watched the officer go in, and with a wireless mic, we heard the buy go down.
Those are 20s?
No, what you getting?
I gave her 20.
Oh, okay.
Okay, for 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Seconds later, the bust.
The girl was sitting by a table and had several crack rocks on the table and said, "How many do you want?" And I said, "I'll take 3 of them." And so I gave her the $30 and I picked up the crack. We found about $300 and something and 70 crack rocks, which would be about $700 worth.
And a weapon?
Yes, a .22 rifle.
The big man, all I know is here, Jamaica.
Moments after her arrest, this 16-year-old girl told us the crack house was supplied by a Jamaican dealer and that teenagers were regular customers.
15, 13. It's beautiful. They do anything for it. They steal for it. They'll kill for it. No? They'll kill for it.
It's the perfect drug to merchandise because it creates its own market. Once people get it, they have to have it.
Captain Eddie Walt commanded the Dallas Drug Task Force. He says South Dallas is full of 13 and 14-year-old girls who support their crack habit with prostitution.
It's easy to make prostitutes at 9 o'clock in the morning because they want their first rock of the day.
Nobody cares about anybody. You care about yourself and your habit. That's all you care about. You don't care what it takes to fulfill your habit.
Users say that's because crack is almost instantly addictive. For the last year, this 18-year-old says his entire life focused on his crack habit.
I lost everything. My family, material things, cars after car. The only thing I had was my skin on my back, and that was going away.
That's because crack irritates the skin of addicts, like this teenager.
Irritation with the cocaine, it's like chiggers all over your body. It's like chiggers under your skin, and you just scratch and scratch and scratch. You scratch so bad it starts bleeding.
An 18-year-old millionaire's son, a drug addict, hooked on crack.
So, it got to the point where I would scrounge the floor for hours, on my hands and knees, put holes through the wall, chunk things because I wanted dope so bad.
Crack, smokable cocaine, a drug so powerful, the high so intense, users can be instantly addicted. It took this teenager 2 days.
I was doing it all day long, all day, all night. It's like just a total rush of your whole body, and it goes away quick. When you come down, you want it worse than you did.
He sold crack to support his habit, and when the money ran out, he robbed.
If we could get rid of drugs in Dallas, our crime would go down no telling how much. They'd be a significant drop because we wouldn't have these people pulling robberies and burglaries to support their dope habits.
23-year-old Hank Lee Day confessed to 33 robberies to support his drug habit. Police records show Day began his 4-month crime spree last August with an occasional hit.
He started pulling more robberies. In fact, the day he got caught, he pulled 4, and the day before he had pulled 3, so we knew that he had a pretty good habit.
Like most drug-addicted criminals, Day hit service stations, convenience stores, and fast food restaurants, getting away with $100 or less, enough for a high.
And in numerous cases, they're hurting so bad at the time till they've got to pull the robbery, and they'll go straight from pulling the robbery to the drug dealers.
Business robberies in Dallas have tripled from 100 per month 5 years ago to more than 300. At the same time, cocaine use has skyrocketed. U.S. drug agents seized 59,000 pounds of cocaine in '86. Last year, 110,000.
If the drug problems continue to increase, we'll probably see a parallel increase in the property and other crimes.
Desperate to support their habit, drug-addicted criminals are usually armed and don't hesitate to shoot.
If they're strung out on drugs, they are more violent. They're not rational.
What's the worst thing you ever did for crack?
Threatening people's lives.
I mean, you would have killed me for crack in a minute, huh?
Or for your diamond ring. I wouldn't say I would have killed you. I would have taken advantage of you. Any way I could.
Officers waging the drug war say crack dealers also prey on each other.
They sure do. They'll rob each other. That's the main danger to them is being robbed by each other.
I'd come over my house and shoot out my windows or something. And then so I'd have somebody go over there and break his legs or blow up his truck or, retaliation.
All for a drug users know is dangerous. A crack overdose killed All-American basketball player Lynn Bias in 1986, and just 1 month ago, this addict almost lost his life to crack.
For an instant I couldn't move, and then, I started freaking out because I couldn't breathe. I felt like I couldn't breathe, and so I ran and I went out the front door and I jumped off my patio onto the front yard, and when I hit the ground, everything seemed to kick back in.
That near-death experience led him to seek help at a drug treatment center, where counselors admit crack is hard to kick.
Because all he'll have to do is use it one time. All he'll have to do is experiment with it one time, be around it once, and should he use it, he'll be gone, and this time probably to his death.
So if you walk out of here and go back into it, what happens?
Then I know I made a conscious decision that I want to die. Just committing suicide. What crack is death. Slow motion suicide. But it hits fast for some people. All it takes is one time and you're gone.